What's going on here today, man? Here we are, Lavelle Big Man Bogan. You are at the Northwest Sports Talk 206. We are talking Seahawks, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm just now getting into the YouTube thing, so been around for a while. Rocking 80, right? Steve Largent. But I want to talk about, we are in week 2 right now. I'm just going to get right into sports. The Seahawks got mollywopped yesterday. I mean, mollywopped. They got beat down. They got knocked around, and they ran the ball down their throat. Made a whole lot of mistakes. A whole lot of the offense looked like it was JV. The offense didn't look nothing like it did last week against Denver. But I called this out. I called it. I said after the game, they're going to have an emotional letdown on the next following week. They played at home. They played with passion. They played with purpose. They went after it. They wanted this game so badly. And I'm telling you right now, the San Francisco 49ers was the worst team in the NFL for them to play the following week. Why? Because this is a black and blue division, especially when it comes to the 49ers. We have some rivalry going on. Every time these two teams play, they hit, they grind. It's physical, it's nasty, it's unsportsmanlike conduct after another. So that's what it is. This is our version of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens in their division. That's what it is here in our division. So, so just watching it from the naked eye, the 49ers look like they had more purpose. They look like they were more driven. They look like they wanted it more. One would argue they just could not afford to go 0-2 from losing last week to the Bears. They could not lose this football game. Seattle was not mentally and physically ready and prepared to go out there and really compete at a high level. With that being said, I am proud of my young guys, and I went back and forth with this guy on Facebook because I said, man, look, even though we're getting whooped right now, I'm enjoying watching the young guys play. Very rarely would you see pretty much a whole rookie class on the field, but that's what you got. I mean, there was time, 6 rookies on the field? Abe Lucas, right tackle, left tackle, Cross. Michael Jackson is not a rookie, but he's an up and coming young player. We got Woodland, the 5th round cornerback that runs a 4.29 or 4.26, something crazy like that. 6'4". What else we got? We got Kobe Bryant playing the nickel, starting at nickel. So a lot of young guys, even Cody Barton, 3rd year, most of the backup special teams player, he's a starter this year. Let me see who else we got. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The young running. Oh, matter of fact, no, I forgot. The running back, number 9. I don't know why my brain has just brain farted. Like I can't remember his name right now, but the running back out of Michigan State, he actually is a number 2 running back, will play just as much as a starter. So there's a lot of young guys out there, and they are going after it. Most of all the rookies look good. Besides Kobe Bryant, looks good at sometimes late in the second half, but he got called for a lot of little ticky-tack, little grabbing penalties. But at the end of the day, Brandon Browner, when he first came here, Richard Sherman, he got called with a lot of reaching, a lot of last-second grabbing and getting penalties for that. So you knew that we were going to have some bumps with the young players, but they've been playing really, really well. Abe Lucas had a couple of penalties, but at the end of the day, he's still pancaking people. So, man, I'm really looking forward to the years to come. It's really like reminding me of 2012 a little bit. Matter of fact, you might get a little bit more production from the rookies now than we did then. A lot of them, I think Richard Sherman didn't start until week 9, if I'm not mistaken, way back then. So I'm excited. I'm excited this year. But man, we like I said, we got mollywopped. And I can say this, man. The play action pass took a lot of time to develop. I wasn't a fan of these long play action pass that the defensive line had time to get penetration. As soon as the quarterback faked it, he had people in his face. And I just think that it was not the right idea for those type of play action passes. They need to be quick. If you are going to do play action passes, they should have been a lot quicker. The Wildcat, I loved it. Was not a fan of my guy throwing the ball. I was not a fan of the third string running back throwing the football in that situation, in that crunch time, in that red zone. We needed that. Oh my goodness. Man, if I had something to throw at the TV, I would during that time. But yeah, I love the Wildcat. I love having all those running backs in the game, but throwing the football, And man, if the guy ain't wide open, you better just run the football. But, it is what it is. But like I said, we got Mollywop, but I'm really excited moving forward. Really, truly excited. I love the 3 tight end sets. I don't know what happened yesterday, but it just seemed like people just was not seeming to get open. If your name was not DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, where was you at? Geno Smith was having time to throw the ball. I couldn't see the whole field because, I'm watching it from the television, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. He seems to hit the open receiver, but there just wasn't a lot of space. There wasn't not a lot of separation. I love our team. I love our offensive line. That defense is young, but I'm gonna point out some weak spots that I think we could improve next year. But anyway, before that, next week, if there is a such thing as a football god, you better be praying to him because we have Atlanta next week. And Atlanta is terrible. And we should be and we're at home. Now, remember, we have a history of playing very well at home and very poorly on the road because they're young team. I'm talking about young players do not possess the confidence as they do as a veteran. There are some rookies that do, but they have confidence. See, then you have that confidence and you're that vet, and that veteran team can travel well. But when you're young, everybody's clapping you on, everybody's cheering you on when you're at home. You know what I'm saying? You got the little juice flowing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to pin your ears back and you can play football. That's probably one of the reasons why young teams play better at home. So with that being said, I'm really looking forward to next week. Us getting back on track, getting our ground game going, getting our confidence flowing. Then we'll see. I think we're going to be 2-1 in a good spot. But for all those bandwagon fans, just calm your brakes a little bit. We got beat down by the San Francisco 49ers. We used to own them. We were in their backyard after a short week. Offense is new quarterback, new helm. So look, we laid an egg. But guess what? We're getting back. We're getting back next week, and I think we are going to be awesome. Geno Smith, man, look. Everybody's harping on Geno Smith. Let me tell you something. Russell Wilson is not doing any better in Denver. Matter of fact, I think he threw for like 40-something yards going into the fourth quarter this week when they played. I guess they barely beat the Texans, right? And just as people on Facebook and social media say, man, Geno Smith ain't it. Well, guess what? Them Denver fans are like, man, we gave up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and the milk and the cow, and we gave him $1 million to get Russell Wilson. They're probably like, he ain't it either. So they're probably saying, he ain't John Elway. He ain't Peyton Manning. But anyways, he played against the Niners defense. The Niners defense that defensive line is on a whole nother level than Denver. A whole nother level. And to be honest with you, you may not find a better defensive line than what we played in our own division. So that's only going to make us better. Man, I'm so optimistic, man. I am so optimistic, man. Straight Seahawks fan from the womb to the tomb. I'm going to be a Seahawks fan. But we're going to be all right, though. We going to be all right. But so if we could just nitpick some things, let's first start with the defense. The defense played outstanding. I don't care what you guys say. They were on the field for 57 hours. 57 hours. Let me tell you something. You ain't shutting down a high school football team if you on the field for 57 hours. The best thing about this defense is they're young. They're not that old defense we had a couple years ago where, like, man, they just look like they were old men out there, dog tired. And them young boys kept competing, kept fighting, kept grinding, kept getting in the backfield. Number 10, I can't even pronounce his name. I'm going to just say Z for right now. Uzomzwa from the Chargers, man. He kept hitting folks in the backfield. He kept hitting. He was all over the field, man. Right now, he's our defensive MVP. He is balling like he lost his mind. I loved the other boy, 53, can't think of his name right now, from Arizona State. He's showing some flashes, like I said, but he's a rookie. Michael Jackson, man, he's impressing me week by week, man. He's always around the football. He reminds me of Jordan Babinall. Always making plays. Picking up fumble, forced fumble, hitting the backfield, strip, everything you think of. He's just he's always around the football. And he's always in position. He had, I think, a couple of penalties PI, but they were ticky-tack, and they weren't even warrant the call. But it is what it is. He's balling. I love him. I love his upside. Woolen, the first couple, they're trying to throw timing routes on him. They're trying to get him reaching and touching because young corners will do that. They'll be in perfect position. But then the ball's in the air, they just get a little excited. But once he calms down, learns how to rely on that 4.26 speed, he's going to be phenomenal. Another gem that we found. He is a gem. He is going to be an absolute beast. He's not as physical as Russell Wilson or Browner was, but man, he is fluid. He is fluid in coverage, and he makes up a lot of ground. Different type of athlete, but he's going to be special. I think he's going to be special. But like I said, we'll see. Time will tell. Once they start getting tape, we're going to see. Safety positions. Joe Johnson, not sure where he's from. I love his replacement of, oh my God, the boy we gave up 7 first-round picks for. Oh, man, why can't I think of it? Jamal Adams. Oh, forgive me, Jamal Adams. So, and Diggs back there, the safety's locked. I would say one weakness on our defense, and I think we're going to improve in the draft next year. And that's Cody Barton. I love when we drafted him. Great upside. He's a solid football player, but he's not just that athlete, that physical freak, a beast of just running from sideline to sideline at range. He's tough. He seems to have the cerebral game down, but just comparing what makes the 49ers defense special is the speed, sideline to sideline, and attack of the linebackers. And I think he's a little bit slow-footed. I would like to see an upgrade in the first or second round, getting a thumper, a big guy that can just run with anybody, sideline to sideline, and cut off those sweeps that they seem to love to do. Next to Brooks is a beast. He's showing why we drafted him in the first round. Brooks is an absolute beast. Definitely not worried about him. So, man, I'm really looking forward. I'm really, really looking forward to the upcoming weeks. Offensively, the offensive line is on the right track. We've had a bum offensive line for a long time, and now we've got some horses. We're having some inconsistencies, but it's early in the season. We've got to get some people who want to get open and want to catch the football besides DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, because they're going to make other people beat us. They're going to make others beat them, right? They're probably doubling out there. So these 3 tight end sets that we got, they got to get open, man. They got to get open. I think we got, Marquise Goodwin. He's another one. The boy, I didn't see him this week. He must have been hurt. And I can't think of his name. The young wide receiver is supposed to be our slot guy who can run like the wind. And I'll think of his name in a minute. But, yeah, man, we upgraded linebacker. I think we'll be great. Matter of fact, get a couple of linebackers. Jamal Adams is an interesting thing. And this is unfortunate for him, if he does not come back healthy next year, he's gone. He's done for this year, but next year he's gone. He's been a great asset. He is a beast, but he has to be reliable. We gave up too much for him, and he makes too much to be having all these dings. This is not a ding as far as ding, but it just goes to a pattern of history. It's not his fault, But at the same time, when you paying as much as you're paying him, when you gave up as much as you gave up on him, it just puts pressure on the front office, and they're going to have to find somebody else, a young guy, to come in here and compete and play if he's not available and if he doesn't have a good, consistent year next year. Because if he gets hurt again, and then now the fans is like, why? Why? And like I said, it's not his fault, not here to beat him up or nothing like that. But, you know, it is what it is. The writing is on the wall for him. My goodness. But like I said, I'm excited, man, about what the Seahawks are doing. Like I said, I love the offensive line. Receiver, linebacker, and receiver, linebacker is probably what they're going to be looking for in the draft coming up next year. And to be honest with you, what makes it crazy is you can find them later in the draft. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Seattle trade down in order to get some linebackers who are big, fast, and athletic and strong. So, man, Seattle's on the path to be real good, you guys. Real good. We just have to weather out the bumps, the little from the rookies and young players. But, man, it was awesome. Little recapture of last week with the Broncos. Love the game, love the tenacity, love the fight. We left some points on the board, but man, that was a game, man. That was a game, and the fact that they won that game, makes me feel so much better about this season. But anyway, so I love talking with you guys. Maybe next time we'll talk about those Huskies. Them Huskies look sharp. Knocking off the number 11 team in the country, Michigan State. Man, that quarterback looked amazing. I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't seen an athlete back there. It's been a long time since we looked at the quarterback on the Washington Huskies and said, man, that's the best football player on the field. It's been a long time since we've had that type of quarterback. Matter of fact, I can't even remember. Have we ever had that? Since one would argue Marcus Mariota, not Marcus Mariota, I can't think of his name right now. The boy from Woodinville High School. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Tutupu? No, not Tutupu. Tuiasosopo. Oh, there we go. Tuiasosopo. One would argue either Tuiasosopo. But if not him, if you're not covered that he was the best football player on the field, because they had a lot of that during that time, you have to go back to Warren Moon. So you have to go all the way back to Warren Moon when the quarterback was the best football player on the field. But, man, they look good, man. They look good. We'll talk a little bit more about them. I've been down about my Huskies for a long time because I've come up in the early 90s, man, back when it was nasty. Steve Entman, Dana Hall, Lincoln Kennedy, Mario Bailey. I mean, these were, oh, my God, players that transformed the program. Then they had that, they got hit with that violation, and we've been down ever since. So anyways, but it was really nice to see that game yesterday. So come on back. Come on, follow the page, subscribe to the Sports Show Northwest Sports Talk 206 with your host, Lavelle Big Man Bogan. So I'll be talking with y'all. Like I said, subscribe, stay connected. Peace.